Hello everyone, Charles Watts here, the Arsenal correspondent at Goal, joining you on Tuesday just after Mikel Arteta's press conference ahead of tomorrow's big game against Liverpool at the Emirates. Huge game for both teams. I'm sure you saw the Manchester City result yesterday at Crystal Palace. Certainly added even more significance to the game for Liverpool on Wednesday night. Whether that ends up being a bad thing for Arsenal, we'll have to wait and see. But Arsenal certainly going into it in very good form, in confident mood. Mikel Arteta has been speaking about the game, about how his side are going to approach it, giving a little bit of team news. So I thought I'd record a video looking ahead to the match and what Mikel had to say, kind of focusing on who might well start this game. Now, in terms of Arsenal, the main bit of team news is that Tomiyasu is going to train today. This is what Mikel had to say, but before I talk about it, this is what Mikel had to say about Tomiyasu. He said, Tommy is the only one that who is still in contention. We've been trying to push him, but with the handbrake a little bit, because we need to be careful as we don't want to get another injury with him. We don't know if tomorrow is too soon, so let's see how he trains today. Now, I mean, there's just no way he's going to play tomorrow, surely. Even if he trains well today and he gets through it unscathed, you've got to learn your lessons, don't you, from what happened last time when he kind of rushed Tomiyasu back against Liverpool, coincidentally enough, in the Carabao Cup semi-final second leg. And he injured himself again. He was clearly not fit in that game. Anyway, had his worst performance in an Arsenal shirt. Was clearly not fit and ended up getting injured again and has been out ever since. So I think you've got to learn your lessons there, don't you? So even if he is fit, I just can't see how he would come straight back into this team. Now, you've got 4 days until Aston Villa, potentially Aston Villa, but I think you probably now just sort of go through until the end of the next international break and bring Tomiyasu back in then. You would hope that he wouldn't go off with Japan because he hasn't played for so long and he's coming back from injury, and then you could basically give him like 2 weeks of training ahead of that game, first game back after the international break. It kind of feels like that's the thing to do. Cedric's fit, he's playing well enough, he's in a routine as well, in a rhythm, which is important. You're not just bringing someone back in from the cold like Tomiyasu, who hasn't played in a long time, won't be match fit, won't be match sharp. Cedric's fit, he's playing week in, week out, he's sharp at the moment, he's playing pretty well. I just think now, as important as Tomiyasu is, I just think now it just feels like too much of a risk really to bring Tommy back in, even if he does come through training, certainly for the Liverpool game, but even for Aston Villa at the weekend. And other than that, I just still think, I know Arsenal are in this really tough run of 3 games, 6 days, short space of time, no recovery, that sort of thing. But I still feel you're probably going to go unchanged, aren't you? I mean, you've got Emil Smith-Rowe who could potentially come into the side for Gabriel Martinelli. But other than that, I just don't see any changes really for this one in terms of who could start against Liverpool. I still think you look at that starting 11, and if everyone's fit, it's just going to be the same team that we saw start at the weekend, barring maybe Smith-Rowe coming in for Martinelli. I just can't see any other changes, even if Tomiyasu's fit. So the team is kind of picking itself now. I mean, whether there's anything sort of going on behind the scenes we don't know about, whether the medical team have been flagging up potential injuries or, someone's in a red zone, something like that, then maybe that would force Mikel Arteta's hand. But if not, I just don't really see the need to change, because Arsenal haven't played that much football recently. It's not like the players have been run into the ground, far from it. So you would hope, there's a good chance that they will get through these 3 games in 6 days without the need to rotate too much. And especially with Liverpool, Liverpool's such a good team. They're so strong. You don't want to be making big changes ahead of that game against Liverpool. So I think, I'd be very surprised if we see any changes, to be honest, unless maybe Smith-Rowe comes in for Martinelli. But let me know, who do you think? Who should be in the starting 11 tomorrow night? Would you stick with the team at the one at the weekend, or would you make any changes to that? Let me know. Would you bring Tomiyasu straight back in? Would you be tempted to? Let me know what you think in the comments below. During the press conference, Mikel was speaking a lot about Arsenal's form, and he was asked a few questions about the top 4. That's the sort of thing. I liked some of his responses as well. I mean, there's been some really good comments coming from Arsenal figureheads, shall we say, recently. I mean, some of the comments Mikel's liked, I've really liked. Some of the comments that the players have liked, I've really liked. I've really liked. It's kind of shown a good mentality about them, and they're not getting carried away. Yes, they're 4th, but they're not thinking any further ahead than the next game. They've got a really good mentality, and I like this from Mikel. He was asked he was asked if Arsenal are one of the best teams in the country at the moment. He says, no, there are better teams in the country because that's what the league table shows. We haven't done anything. What we are doing is trying to improve, understand what we want, being much more consistent in performance and results, but nothing else yet. He was then asked about if the top four, being in the top four, sitting fourth right now, that brings extra pressures to a young team rather than kind of being one of the chasers. Now they're being chased by the other teams. Does that bring extra pressure, especially for young players? He says, well, that's the pressure of playing for this club to be the best, and we're not there yet. If the objective is that, it's not pressure. It has to be a motivation, a challenge, and a clear understanding that the purpose to play for this club is only to be the best. And what we've done so far means absolutely nothing. I think everyone has to be encouraged and empowered by the possibility to find ways to improve and get better. So it's constantly about getting better, constantly about improving. There's no patting on the back. It's no well done, you're fourth, well done, you know, group of young players. It's all like you've got to go on and achieve something now because you haven't achieved anything. If it goes wrong in the next 12 games, then you know you haven't really achieved anything this season. Yes, you might have improved a little bit. Yes, you might have shown promise, but ultimately you're going to end up outside the top four again. I just like that comment. It's driving players on, and it does seem to be filtering down to the players as well. And I'm really intrigued by this tomorrow night. I said it in yesterday's video. I'm really looking forward to what I'm going to see from this Arsenal team against Liverpool, who are undoubtedly, I don't know, they're certainly one of the best two teams in the country, we know that, but you know, arguably on their day, I kind of still fancy them to get it one over Manchester City when they're absolutely flying. And you know, City dropping points at Crystal Palace last night, I mean, that's just going to add extra significance, as I said, to this game. And Liverpool are going to be so up for it. They know they've got a real chance to seize control in the title race now, and so they're going to be bang up for it. And you know, but they're going to be facing an Arsenal team who've won 9 of the last 11 games, who are flying themselves. It's just such an intriguing battle. Can Arsenal cause Liverpool problems, something they haven't done in a long time when they've played Liverpool? Can they do what they did in that first half against Manchester City on New Year's Day? Can they take the game to Liverpool, cause them constant pressure, don't let them get the ball to their attackers, keep them pinned back in the Liverpool half? Can they do that? They didn't manage it in the semi-final of the Carabao Cup in January, when I think we were all expecting Arsenal to give them a bit of a game. They didn't do it. In truth, they didn't really lay a glove on Liverpool. Liverpool won that comfortably. Can Arsenal do something a little bit different this time around? You know, you'd fancy them too because of the way they're playing at the moment, but we all know how well Liverpool play. We know the intensity they play with, how quickly they win the ball back, how quickly they break, the quality they've got in the front line. You know, can Arsenal counter that and really give them a game? It's going to be such an intriguing one to watch. A lot of people said, oh, it's a free hit. It's not a free hit. Nothing's a free hit in the Premier League. It's a chance to get 3 points. Would I be happy with 1 point? Absolutely. I would be happy with 1 point, but I want 3. Everyone wants 3. And what 3 would do in terms of the Champions League picture would be absolutely massive for Arsenal. And it can be done. Look, Tottenham went and won at Manchester City just a few weeks ago. It can be done. It's certainly not impossible for Arsenal to get the result against Liverpool. Yes, it's going to be difficult, but what it would do to this young team, the confidence it would give them if they could turn Liverpool over tomorrow night, would be absolutely massive. And I can't wait to watch it. I have to say, I will be at the Emirates, obviously, so keep your eyes peeled. I'll do all the usual stuff before the game, and we'll cover it live. If you can't watch it, we'll watch it on cover all that, keep up to date with everything that happens on my social media channels. But yeah, should be an absolute thriller at the Emirates. I'm really looking forward to it. Team news wise, I mean, I've already spoken really about Arsenal, unless there's something we don't know about. Tomiyasu's the main one. He's going to train today, and we'll see if he's involved or not. Even if he is, I imagine he'll only be on the bench. You know, Saka limped off at the weekend, but I don't think there's any issue with Saka, so he should be fine. So Arsenal-wise, they're looking pretty good. The big team news really coming from Liverpool ahead of this game. There was lots of doubt about Mo Salah. He limped off in their win against Brighton at the weekend. He wasn't in training yesterday, but it looks like he will be available. Jurgen Klopp's also had his press conference today, and he said that Salah will train today. I think I took the quote down here. He says, he is a tough cookie. We've got the message that he's ready to train today. So that he says that it looks like he will be available to face Arsenal. Elsewhere for Liverpool, Klopp has confirmed that Konate is back fit. I don't know if he'll start. I imagine it'll be Matip and Van Dijk in centre back for them, but he is back fit and available. 2 players who won't be available are Milner and Tsimikas, who are out with illness. So that's the team news in terms of Arsenal and Liverpool ahead of that game. let me know what you guys think. I'm intrigued to see how you guys are feeling ahead of this one on Wednesday night. What do you want to see from this Arsenal team against Liverpool? What would you accept? Would you accept a defeat with a good performance, kind of similar to what we saw against Manchester City on New Year's Day, which, yes, it was a defeat, but you kind of left the stadium that day feeling really, really encouraged about the path that Arsenal were on? Or would you see that as a failure? Should Arsenal be going toe to toe with Liverpool now? What do you expect from this game? Mikel was asked about Arsenal's form, and he said, "We are playing better. We have better understanding of what we want. We have the right level of confidence, belief, understanding better, and everything fits better and quicker." And he was asked if Arsenal are playing now the best football that they've played since he arrived at the club, just pretty much 2 years ago, just over 2 years ago. He said, "I think with the level of consistency throughout a game and throughout a period of a run of games, I would say yes." And I don't think that can be argued. I think Arsenal has certainly shown the best form they have since he arrived at the club. I think they've won 5 in a row in the Premier League now, haven't they? They've won 9 in their last 11. I think over those 11 games, no one has picked up more points than Arsenal in the Premier League. They're right at the top in terms of the form table. And it's not just the points, it's the performances they're producing as well. Whereas at the sort of start of the season, wasn't it? It was all a little bit huff and puff, wasn't it? Even when they were starting to win games after that awful start when they lost their first 3, they were sort of getting themselves over the line. They weren't playing great football. They weren't creating many chances. They weren't having many shots on goals. That's totally flipped since December, really, hasn't it? And we're seeing them create a lot more, dominate games a lot more. I loved that win against Leicester at the weekend. It was so professional. And so I don't think anyone can really argue whether Arsenal are playing better now. I think it's proven they're at the top of the game under Arteta. They had that great run to the FA Cup final, won the FA Cup, obviously had a good end to the season that season, but I think this tops it. And we're seeing signs now of the way Arsenal are hoping to move forward under Arteta. Very much looking forward to Wednesday night's game. Finally, before I go, I'm sure you've seen L'Équipe reported yesterday that Mikel Arteta is on the short list of potential managers to replace Pochettino when he goes at the end of the season. I think everyone expecting Pochettino to leave PSG at the end of the season, potentially go to Manchester United. And L'Équipe, the French newspaper, said that Mikel Arteta, obviously a former PSG player, is on the list of 10 possible candidates to replace him. I don't think it's an easy link to make. He's obviously a former PSG player. I think PSG are going to be going for other candidates, to be honest, when it comes. I'd be very surprised if they really sort of went for Arteta at this stage of his career, given the kind of way that PSG operates. I can't rule it out. I don't know anything about what's going on in PSG. It's just a kind of hunch of mine that I'd imagine if when Pochettino goes, they'll try and get a much sort of bigger, more established name than Mikel Arteta. In terms of Arsenal's point of view, the contract talks will be happening with Mikel Arteta. From what he says, they haven't started happening yet, but it won't be long until Arsenal try and get this result. I'd be absolutely stunned if they let him walk away now. They'll do all they can, I'm sure, to make sure that he signs a new contract and stays at Arsenal for the long term, because they've all bought into this project. They've all put an awful lot of faith into this project. The owners have allowed an awful lot of money to be spent on this project. So for them not to do all they can to get Arteta to sign a new contract, I'd be absolutely stunned. I think it's something that will happen. Probably not until the summer, until the season's over, just because there's so much going on at the moment. It's a similar situation to what we're seeing with Lacazette, and what Mikel keeps saying there, we'll talk at the end of the season. I don't want anyone to focus on anything else apart from getting us over the line and achieving what we need to achieve between now and the end of the season. And I just think it'll be the same with Arteta. So I wouldn't be, if you're a big Arteta fan, and I know there's plenty of you, he still divides opinion, I'm sure, but if you are and you've seen these links with PSG, I wouldn't be too worried about it. I'd be stunned if he does not end up signing a new deal and ends up staying at Arsenal for certainly longer than what his current contract lasts until. And that's it. Thank you very much for watching this video. I appreciate your time as always. I will pop on tomorrow in the morning and do another video looking at the Liverpool game, give my predicted 11, that sort of thing. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Until then, have a very good Tuesday. Enjoy whatever it is you are up to, and I will see you tomorrow. See you later. Bye-bye.